welcome to the Food and Beverage Departmental Meeting. We saved the best for last. I mean, I'm not just saying that because it's my department, our department. And we also gave you snacks because we are the best department. Thank you all for showing up today. For you listening to the presentation, we'll have some really fun raffles at the end. And we'll talk about some really fun things. So, how many of you have attended the rest of the departmental meetings? Were they informative? Good. No? Not really?
Yes.
I heard yes, no.
Yes.
I mean, it's kind of hard because we're getting up to toot our own horn about everything that we do that is so great. And dining is amazing. And you're about to fill out a resident survey, and we have the kickoff on Friday. I mean, did we plan this? I don't know. But if we did a good job because we're the week that you're getting the survey. So remember, all the good things I talk about up here, that's what we'll remember, right? You can laugh, it's okay. Depends upon dinner tonight. Doesn't it depend upon dinner every night?
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Doesn't depend on the daily when it comes to other departments, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, welcome to the meeting. I have my sidekicks here today. My literal right hand, Pamela, and then Pamela Evans. My left hand, my brother from another mother, as I call him, Chef Jamie, Chef of the Year. Woohoo! How amazing was that? And I didn't even get to come be here for the town hall last week, but we got to welcome him back. It was the coolest thing ever, and also the most nerve-wracking thing for me to be up there trying to figure out how to MC, which I'm not very good at, and then also the whole time going, no pressure, chef, no pressure, I'm just standing right here, you gotta make us proud. And boy, did he ever. And then we also have our two supervisors, stand-up girls, Nasha and, our supervisor Nasha and our manager Nicole here today. And we have our lovely Rosa Uzuna in the back, our 30-year employee of dining. When we do things in dining, we try to do it together. There's not one person that can run this department. There's many. I'm only as good as the individuals underneath me that hold down this campus on a daily, and we have one of the largest campuses in the division and largest IL population in the entire division with 530 residents. So I'm going to start off talking a little bit about me. I'm an only child, so it comes easily. So here's some things that I wanted to kind of talk about. My family, of course. Up in the corner here is a Christmas picture that we took a couple years ago. Every year, I make my family take Christmas pictures. I'm sure all of you can remember those days of getting your kids dressed and trying to match, or go to Olin Mills, because that's where I used to go when I was younger. But most of my pictures aren't looking at the camera, it's looking up in the corner. Well, another picture of me is looking straight at the camera. But this is my favorite because it's an outtake and it just shows what a hot mess my family is. So if you can see, I'm just cracking up because Juliana said something she shouldn't have, so my husband's covering her ears. And I'm like, that's the wrong kid. You should be covering Gia's ears because Juliana's the one that said something inappropriate. So that's my life in a nutshell. That's my husband of 20 years, Frank. We've been together for 25. As I say to a lot of you at night, I'm just happy that every time I go home after dinner that he's still there, because I'm very much not present as much as he is. My daughters, I always wanted really like best friends. I'm so glad that I have two daughters that completely hate me right now because they're in their teens. And I try really hard to be cool, but apparently I'm not. But I do support them every Friday night at their flag football games. You'll see me changing and going to the field. My youngest, who's the taller of the two, so that really ticks off my oldest, Gia. She has the athletic skills. Gia looks like a deer on ice. So we're just like, Gia, you're doing such a good job out there. You're not giving up. But God, I wish you would, because you're not first string or second string. They're just putting you in at the end of the game when they've already blown away the team. But my daughter, my youngest daughter is the quarterback on her team, and you'll also see her out on the golf course as part of the junior PGA. She is an all-star player and just played this past weekend in Sarasota. And thank you. She's somewhat of a golf savant. She just started like a year ago, and she can drive about 220 yards. And she is really good if she can maintain her attitude. I think we watched Happy Gilmore one too many times, because when she gets upset, she has been known to throw her club, and we had to teach her that that's not good. And the pro that she's working with now is teaching her about etiquette on the course. These are my two cats. I love this picture of Miss Ella. If you can see, you probably can't see very closely, she's sticking her tongue out. How many of you remember Frank Henson that used to work here down at the pro shop? He was here prior to Ron. That was his cat. He moved and needed to rehome, so during COVID, we accepted her in. And then we have Shar, who's my youngest cat, who is 5 years old and just a terrible little cat. She's so cute, but if you notice, she's in a Christmas tree right there. That is a real picture in the tree that I wasn't like, here kitty, get in this tree and pose. She was literally in there, and she bit through some of the lighting, so half the tree's working and the other half doesn't. So that happens a lot in our house, but we put up 3 trees at Christmas, so we figure at least one of them will be fully lit. I know she has 9 lines, but I'm thinking that she might have only 1 left at this point. Right here, I do baking, so those are cupcakes, and when I have spare time, yeah, I know. When I have spare time, when everybody's asleep, I like to bake, and I have a little side gig that I used to do for years called Gigi's Treats, and I do all kind of stuff for my kids' schooling and donate things, and it's just fun. It's a passion for me. And then my final picture right here, and my best friend in the whole entire world, this is my grandmother. Some of you know this story, but I was born on my grandmother's birthday. So I am her best birthday gift ever. I like to say that. I am her first granddaughter. I am the best granddaughter out of everybody in our family, and everybody knows that, because I was born on her birthday. So this is the most recent picture of us. I was taken in July, and I'm so happy that this year I'll be spending my 48th birthday with her as she turns 89. So these are the things that I hold very, very special to me, and that's just a little bit about me. Even though you know me from Freedom Plaza, and as I've been here for 18 years, we just want to get you to know us a little bit on a personal level. And now I'm going to pass it off to Pamela, who's going to talk a little bit about herself.
So Teresa first said, here. So Teresa first said, like, oh, we have to put pictures of us. I was like, oh, nobody wants to see that. But I don't know if you guys know, I wasn't born and raised here. I was born and raised in Ecuador. My father was a military person, and he took us to South America, and I was born and raised there. I just came backpack, and my dad like threw me off to culinary school and said, let's do it. So when I was 18, I moved to the States, and I graduated at culinary school. Because I like to copy Teresa, I also have 2 daughters. One is 7 years old, and she's started today third grade, and my youngest, Valentina, who started 1st grade today. If you recognize that handsome gentleman, he puts up with me and has put up with me for 12 years. We've been married for 12 years, and if you recognize him, it's because he used to work at Bank of America nearby. And they would come to me like, you're married to Michael? And I'd be like, yes. And they'd be like, oh, he's so handsome. I'm like, I know. I tricked him. When I'm out in the dining rooms, I usually try to go and see. My daughters are enrolled in aerobics classes, but I'm not the cheer mom. Michael is. So he'll stay there the whole class and like cheer them on, and he's the best. I do all my homework in the evenings with the girls, and I try to be a present mother for them. And I also hide my snacks in the freezer. If you don't know, grab a bag of broccoli, toss all your sneakers there. Nobody's gonna take them. If you didn't know about me, I love cheesy romance novels. Like the ones with Bobby on the cover. I love those. And because I continue to copy Teresa, I love baking from scratch. That's my passion. That's it. Okay. So that's us in the beach, all trying to fit in. I wanted to let you guys know that I was raised by my father. He's 95, so by your generation. So I know that firsthand it is important to do everything with patience and with dignity as we age. During my college years, I worked in South Beach and Miami. And I can tell you when I was 18, I was in not a very safe position. I was 18 years old, a young girl, with cooks that said very, very hard things. So I don't want that for anybody. And as you know, we have a lot of 16, 17, and 18-year-olds. And because I want to provide a safe environment for all of them, and that is very important to me. And that's why I want to create a safe and supportive space for our team. And I support the Scholarship Foundation. Many of our servers are a huge success story for them. So I really appreciate what the residents do to encourage them to go and continue in the higher level. And that's it. Chef's up.
Good afternoon, everyone. How's everybody doing? Thank you for being with us today. So I'm going to do one of my favorite things of all time and talk about myself, I should say. So we were asked to put this together, and I'm going through and I'm trying to figure out what images to put up here. And it kind of came to me later on. This is a little bit better version of the one that I put together. Teresa helped me with it, but this thing kind of just sums it up, right? Like somebody asked me, well, what are your hobbies? And I gotta be honest, I think along the way, my hobbies kind of got lost, right? So my hobbies now, or what takes up my time, is food and my family. And that's pretty much my life right now. Down here at the bottom right, you can see I have, I'm missing one of them. This was earlier on, but I love that picture. That was one year we dressed up as the Ghostbusters, and my middle daughter, Dessa, was so plump and juicy. I thought that what a better costume than the Michelin Man from Ghostbusters. So that's what she was that year, and we dressed up as Ghostbusters that year. So not a lot to say. I mean, I think my passion, I think it comes off pretty easily that it's food. I just love food. I've loved food for, I can't even remember how long. I grew up with a Portuguese family and just stayed in the kitchen all the time. My aunt's also Italian, so between both of those cultures, we're in the kitchen a lot. We're at the table a lot together. So that just sparked something in me, and I really loved it. And then just cooking with everybody. I later on went to the military, cooked there as well, and then came out and then really started to take it serious. Went to culinary school in Philadelphia, and then just really started my journey on wanting to be a chef and just climbing the ladder. Married to my wife, I've been with her for 12 years. We've been married for about 7 or 8. She'll probably be mad at me for not knowing exactly, but it seems like forever. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I don't have like a really long one. This sums it up, like I said. Like I leave here and I love to go cook for my girls and eat dinner with them, put them to bed. And today was a great experience as well, going to see Desi go to kindergarten and watching her sister so excited as well. It's been awesome watching them grow. And that's it. That's all I really have. These things right here mean a lot to me. So I just wanted to put them out there, and you guys can have a better understanding of me.
Thank you, Chef and Pamela. Okay, now that you know a little bit about us, we're going to tell you all the great things we do, right? So I'm going to break it down for you from just a department. The food and beverage team is the second largest departmental team on campus, behind clinical. It's a very large operation that we run here, and I say we collectively because there's not one person that can run this. I am the food and beverage campus director. I've been here for 18 years. I have individuals that fall underneath my actual leadership which would be Beverly Brown. Those of you who know Beverly, she's located on the second floor across from me. She is a dining service coordinator. She enters all of our bills. She makes sure that catering checks are being deposited and statements and invoices are going out as need be. And she also provides the foundation for the catering calendar that we go off of every single week in our catering meeting. Pamela also falls underneath me in the front of the house operation. She's the assistant food and beverage director here in IL, and she also oversees the grill. And I'm gonna let Pam come up and talk about her team and Jamie in just a moment. Chef Jamie also falls underneath my eye line, who takes care of, he's the executive chef, and I got to put on there chef of the year. Can you put that on the bottom of your, I'm just gonna keep saying it, because it was amazing. So Chef Jamie runs all of our operations in our IO kitchen and also oversees catering, and does support as a final check back for the grill that Pamela and Marissa take care of. Jennifer Gonzalez, those of you that have been here for a while and have lived here as long as I have, Jennifer's been here for 21 years. She's not up here today, she's down at Plaza West. She transitioned down to the higher levels of care around the end of COVID. She actually, on our campus, is the only one within my department that understands all the levels of care because she's worked in every single one of them. She worked in assisted living memory care for 1.5 years. She oversaw both healthcare and assisted living memory care, and then eventually transitioned just to healthcare. Because of all the state regulations, rules, and guidelines down at healthcare, it's important for us to have a strong leader down there to manage the team 100% of the time. And then newer to our team, Rosalind Jackson, who is down at assisted living memory care with Kim Habercorn. We actually got really lucky with Rosalind because Rosalind came to us by way of Bradenton, Freedom Village. And she actually lives here in Ruskin, but was driving all the way to Bradenton and saw this opening and was like, hey. And I called Bradenton. It was a great glowing recommendation. They were super sad, which means I knew my life was getting a lot easier when we brought her on. So she's been amazing. But I'm gonna let Pamela talk a little bit about the team underneath her.
So the front of the house staff is comprised of around 40 servers. It just depends on their availability. We have levels for the servers. We have server level 1, which is you just started. We have server level 2 and server level 3. And I can tell you that has taken a whole life of its own. The servers came up with, hey Pam, can we buy new shirts? That then like denotes what type of server I'm at. And I'm like, I don't know about that. They're like, no, hear us out. So we did. And now you can tell the second that a server has become a server 2 because his shirt will be blue. Dark blue. Now, on top of the servers, there's 2 dining supervisors. Nasha, if you want to just stand. Nasha has been with me for like 3.5, almost 4 years. I can tell you, Nasha started as a server, and she stayed with me, so it's been a ride. So now she's a supervisor. She worked herself up to a supervisor, and she usually works on Saturdays. If you need something, just call Nasha on Saturdays. Our second server, David, he's out of town today, but server David, he started as a server, and now he's a supervisor. And I can tell you, sometimes that is just how you give somebody the opportunity to show you with consistency and determination that if you put in love and consistency to somebody, they will grow. And David is now a supervisor. And we looked at all the candidates coming from outside, and we decided that David is our new supervisor. And you can tell just by the way he walks how proud he is to have that position. Now, heading the dining rooms is Nicole. Nicole, you wanna? Yay! Nicole also started as a supervisor here, and now she's my dining manager. So Nicole has been just so awesome. I can't even with words say how much dedication and effort and love she puts to the team. She really cares. I can tell you, one of our servers, Crystal, had a really tough choice to make to go ahead and go into the military. She's like, Pam, let's buy a cake. And there they are crying in the corner. I'm like, guys, it's a good thing. And she was like, but this is how invested we are sometimes to see our servers grow and encourage them to continue in their education. And I can tell you, like, Anthony didn't get into his nursing program, and we were heartbroken for him. And then he comes back and he's like, I made it. And we're just like, yes, we're in there with them. These are young adults that we see every day. As much as you see them every day, we see them every day, and we've become invested into how they're doing. Are they okay? I can tell you, there's been a lot of conversations that have broken my heart inside of my office where I close the door and I'm like, geez, and I call Teresa and I'm like, Teresa, what can we do? And I mean, as much as you see them and you see their smiles and you see their efforts, there is a lot of, when people say like, I don't know and I don't believe in the young servers or this young people coming up, I'm like, I don't see that. I see them trying and I see them working hard and I see them connecting with all of the residents, and I'm just so proud of the team. I also, for those who don't know, I also manage the grill. Now, the staff from the grill, they're tenured people. Sonia has been there for 30 plus years. Daniel has been there for 30 plus years. So to see and manage people that have been here for longer than you've been here and you're younger than them, I mean, I can tell you, we've had really what can we do to make the grill better? Can we bring ice cream? We got that Hershey things that we have, so just ensuring that we are at 100% in the grill and we're providing the service to the residents that you want. But that team, I mean, consistently, we get such good feedback from their grill because that's just how awesome they are. And that's just my team. Can you tell how proud I am of them? I'm just blown away. So that's why the dining team is the best.
Now I get to talk about other people better. So yeah, super excited about this first one. He'll be starting this week. James Roberts. He is the new hire for the executive sous, a much needed position that needed to be filled. So I'm super excited about that. He has some really good experiences. That's what really jumped out from him amongst the other applicants. He's coming from, he worked at the Fountain Blue in Miami, which is super high end. That really jumped out to me. I really wanted to work with somebody with that type of experience. I felt like that would be a really good match for us. Not just that, but his demeanor also something that I feel that'll pair well with myself and the staff. He's coming to us right now directly from Noble Crust in Wesley Chapel, which is a fairly new concept that is pizza, but higher end pizza and a nice higher end menu. So super excited about that. He starts Wednesday. He provides, as the executive sous, just another layer of management, right? It's more of a detailed layer though. There's certain things that I have to do throughout my day, and there's certain things that the sous chefs have to do throughout their day, to where this is a good balance between me and the sous chef now, right? This is another set of eyes. And with his background being in fine dining, that also sheds a little bit more light on these details, right? I think we're a lot better with consistencies from 2 years ago, but there's still some issues, right? So that's gonna help us kind of hone in on that and tighten that up a little bit. So all in all, I just feel like this is something that is gonna be really good for what we do in our department. Next person that I want to talk about is Jacob Claypool. Jacob Claypool is a sous chef. He's been here for 11 plus years, I believe, and another vital part of the team. Somebody that has been with me since I started here, right? Obviously, right? I started 2 years ago. He's been here almost 12. So, but besides Pam and Teresa, I can't really say that the kitchen staff has really been the same since I got here, right? There's some key players in there that have been here, but Jake's been that, that staple in the kitchen. Jake, super dedicated. He's here every day, and he helps me manage the staff. And he puts out the buffet a lot of the times, and he's just a key part of our staff. So without him, I gotta be honest, it'd be super challenging to make it to what it is today. Stanley Gamez and Jose Sanchez. These were some hires that we had. Jose is familiar to Freedom Plaza. He was a server here for a while, left for the military, and then came back. Kind of was interested in culinary, so started having little side conversations with me. I thought that it would be a good fit for the kitchen, and it definitely was. Jose is a workhorse. He loves what we do here. Unfortunately, Jose's leaving. He found a great opportunity for himself to better his situation with his family, so kudos to him for that. He'll be very missed in our kitchen. Stanley Gamez is another one. He's a younger guy as well, had some good experiences. After talking to him, we felt like he'd be a really good fit for our team, and he has been. He's been somebody in there that, you know, takes ownership of things, really wants to progress to the next level, and with that comes helping us managing the staff, and he's done that very well. He's also acclimated himself very well working on the line. So between those two, it's been a good run, and they've helped our progression in the kitchen. The next person that I'd like to talk about is Rosa Ozuna. Rosa is back there right now. Rosa's been here for 30 years, and I know I said this about my other guys, but without Rosa, I'd be a hot, super hot mess without Rosa. Rosa holds it together. Rosa really has eyes on everything come to catering. She also supports in the kitchen when necessary, but catering as of late has been something that's been very busy, and Rosa has it all under control. I appreciate her very much, as I know Teresa and Pam do as well. So if you see Rosa, you should thank her. I know I get a lot of credit and a lot of stuff like that, but when you see her, she's the one that you should be thanking. She holds it down for us here. That's all I got.
And just to tell you how good Rosa is, this morning as I'm rolling in at 8:15 and I'm voice texting Chef, which he gets a lot of voice texts. How many voice texts in here? Does anybody talk the text on their phone? And like I talk so fast that sometimes my words get jumbled, but they speak Teresa, so they understand what I'm saying. And I'm like, hey, we don't have food today, but we're the food and beverage department. Don't you think we should have food? Maybe we should do this. And I'm also nervous about this, and I gotta drop this in, and I gotta play this video. And then he texts back and he's like, we have a lot going on today, but let me check with Rosa. And then I'm like, oh, never mind, that was a lot, you're right, this is too last minute. And then lo and behold, Rosa already has a nice spread. And it wasn't just something that she put together, she put care and love into it, like she does every one of the events that she does on this campus. First and foremost for the residents, which is our main concern, and then because we do have a banquet hall down there, if we don't have an outside event and we don't have anything that needs to be catered inside, will book that out for outside events as well. She has long-standing relationships with a lot of outside groups and committees that come into Freedom Plaza and ultimately sometimes move in. So it's great community outreach to learn about what we do here, and she's just such a staple, and she's one of like the staples of food and beverage. My first day coming out to Freedom Plaza, I met Rosa, and I remember that day as like, well, what do you do here? And she said, just a little bit of everything. And it's so true. I've seen her in the kitchen, I've seen her in the grill, she has hosted, I've seen her in the dining room, she's down at catering, she will help anybody out, she never says no, she always comes in, and every single hurricane she is here on this campus with us, staying in a room and making sure that we have food ready to put out for all of you when we lose power for 4 days. She's one of the staples, so thank you, Rosa. All right, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I do so you can get an idea of what my responsibilities are and how we function in our very large department. One thing, obviously, I'm responsible for the overall operations on the campus through all levels of care. So through all of our residents here, we have 530 in independent living. We have 113 in our healthcare center. We have 21 at the inn. And then between memory care, we're I think between 27 and 28, and at assisted living down at the old Homewood, we are anywhere between 50 and 56. So I have a very large team that helps with all of that. My most important role is providing the landscape for the food and beverage program for our campus. So as we stand here today, I'm not thinking about anything that we're doing in the next 6 months. I'm already thinking 6 months down the road, and then another like 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. That's why we were the first campus to roll out the preferred choice dining. Anytime that there is something I can do to bring to this campus to enhance or elevate the food and beverage program, I will raise my hand and say, let us do it. It's sometimes my team is like, can we just take a break? And I'm like, no, let's not. For example, tomorrow we have a big installation for Jolt, which is a refrigeration monitoring company. So we do not have to manually take temperatures. They put little QR codes on and it records all of our coolers, and we can do our line checks, and everything's very automated, which is going to make their life a whole heck of a lot easier. Right? This technology is supposed to do that, but we all know that there's some growing pains with it. So we're the first ones out of the entire division to do it. Financials, as far as labor, food costs, supplies, all level of care, just like we are the second largest on campus, we're one of the 3 largest departments within, like, for financial stability on campus. If I do not run good financials, or we do not, we could have a really not a profitable month from that standpoint. So we try to keep our finances in line, spend all the pennies and dollars that we have, so then we can continue to get those robust budgets. And every year it's worked out into our favor because we're constantly getting increases in our regular increases, but also sometimes we're able to kind of advocate for additional money for our PRD. I'm connected to the campus 24/7, even when I'm physically not here, even when I'm cruising. I have been known to be on cruises in this past year, which I have been, and in between shore excursions, taking a call, like a Teams call, or being on a meeting, or partaking in a budget meeting, or talking to another campus that I'm supporting. I am always dealing with the campus. The management team, boots on the ground, when I'm not here and I'm traveling, they do a very good job, but I still need to be tied into what is going on campus. So we have updates on the daily. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Monthly food forums, weekly dining news. A couple years ago, I would email Stephanie the dining news, and it was, oh, there's not a lot of room in here. Can we cut this down? And I'm like, yeah. And I felt bad because we have a lot of things to say in dining, and we had some residents say, it'd be nice if you did a newsletter. So I created that, and now Pamela has taken that over and has done a really good job with it. Daily communication with the team and nightly breakdown of any issues that occur so we can follow up with resident concerns or service issues. So this is super important. Our team is so large, and you don't see the same people here every single night. So at the end of the night, our supervisors and managers and our sous chefs and lead cooks will send an email out to all of us in our core team that we had just talked about here, and tells us what happened. They tell the story of service. We're always telling each other the service, or the story, because every day is different. If we had to refire a chicken, or if something came out as tough, or this menu item's not working, this is what I heard, this was too salty. Or from a front of the house standpoint, so-and-so needs to be trained because they don't know how, they're having trouble ringing in tickets, or we have a resident that's asking for some help on Uniguest. All of that stuff is sent at night. There's about, it could be 5 bullet points and it could be 20 bullet points, but at that point, we read it, and the next day we deploy everybody to where they need to be to take care of those issues. Weekly meetings with my food and beverage leaders. I'm very fortunate enough that they are able to be hands-on and they're not tethered to me at all times. They're all very much well-working professionals, and I'm very, very lucky in that aspect. I'm also very lucky that I can do daily tastings in the kitchen anytime. I don't really use my title to do that, but I do. I do sometimes when it's a good meal. But I'm always able to taste everything, and Chef Jamie, every once in a while, I can call in that card and say, hey, I'm on calls all day, can you make me lunch? Like he did today, which, by the way, I had a really great truffle Caesar salad, right? Because I said I wanted something healthy, and then I was upset that I omitted the croutons. So I kind of felt like I'm eating it going, something's wrong with this. Oh, I asked for healthy. That's not funny, Jamie.
It was kale.
When I said, yeah, kale is fine. I mean, that's healthy enough for me. I'm a big girl. I need some crunch. Marketing partnership. I also do I host the wine tasting for prospects. That's one thing that I've done for years. But we always support marketing. We're here for marketing. We're all part of marketing. And it's always a good way for us to meet you when you're moving in. I have input on the menus with a strong collaboration with Chef Jamie and Pam. We all hear different things from different residents, right? We all have residents that all of you feel comfortable with either one of us. So whatever you're saying to us, we need to know as a team. So we all collaborate together. I oversaw the implementation of the social club license, but really I didn't. I mean, I'm just saying that because I'm part of the dining team. Pam is the one leading the charge. She's the reason why we have to charge you now, not me. I'm just making that clear. Oh, I'm sorry. Is she here? No. I'm kidding. But, I mean, honestly, we were the last ones to get it rolled out, so, and if you still really want a free beer, go to the pro shop, we still don't have a license there. Don't tell Ron I sent you though. Oh, we're taping this. Budgeting and capital expenses and routine expenses. So we're very, very lucky here at Freedom Plaza because, you know, the most important person here is Sibby. And I would think, because when I go to other campuses to visit, which I have the opportunity to do, and I always am like, can I meet with your plan ops? And they're like, why do you want to meet with plan ops? I'm like, because dining, food and beverage and plan ops like work really closely together, just like clinical, just like anything else on the campus. Sibby's work ethic is second to none, and he has always been an advocate, and I know it's like this from department to department, but I always like to think that food and beverage is special. That's my only child syndrome. I think that we're special, but every single time I've gone to Sibby and I've said, I have this outlandish idea, or I need this $75,000 piece of equipment, where everyone else would say, no, no, no. He's like, okay, how can we make this work? And then as I have to level this up because we wanted to get a brand new combi for the kitchen, which is going to enhance how we cook things instead of a steamer, which is just going to make everything wet. This thing can roast. It's the most amazing thing. It even self-cleans. You can watch it self-clean. It's like a car wash inside of an oven. It has like a front, like you can see through it. It's amazing. And he helped us get that. So when we're budgeting for capital expenses and routine expenses, we take all of your input that you give to us and say, these are the things that the residents really want to see and we have to do this. And then Sibby and I, but mostly Sibby, has to figure out how he can get that into the budget. And I think we're doing pretty good because everything that we've needed to get thus far, with aside from a couple things, even those chairs in the Nile that got reupholstered, and the story behind that is we could not find a company to reupholster, and I called Sibby and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And he goes, what about like the marina reupholsters, like for boats? And I'm like, they'll do chairs? He goes, I don't know, you can call this lady and see. And I'm like, lo and behold, Sibby saved the day again, and we got our chairs done in the Nile. I also do one-on-one meetings with residents to go over diets to help them navigate menus. I'm not a dietitian. I obviously don't eat that healthy. But I do understand diets, and I do understand some of the situations that you're going through. But I also do have a dietitian that is on our staff, and someone that I can also call within our division if we need to, talk a little bit more extensively. I made the two best hires. I do credit myself with that, and we'll stand tall with that with Chef Jamie and Pam, because without them in the past 2.5, 3 years, we would not have been able to be where we are today with our program. Professional growth and development for me, I think it's fair for me to put this in so then you can know, because you see me a lot, like you used to see me every single day, every single night. I lived here. But now I have some other roles. So in 2023-24, Angie nominated me to go to the Leading Age Leadership Academy, and I was able to graduate from that. It was a great program. It taught me how to play nice in the sandbox with others and not use my only child syndrome and steamroll everybody over to get what I need. So that softened me up a little bit. I mean, I'm still a steamroller. And then it right up there, TPE, which means Third Party East. I was a Third Party East Core Food and Beverage Specialist. This happened about 2 years ago. They dissolved the corporate resource team to go help other communities, and they needed help. And my VP of dining knew that I wanted some more adventure in my life because I don't have enough going on already at Freedom Plaza. So he asked me if I wanted to go help out at a couple communities, so it just kind of fell in, and I ended up with 21 communities as a support. Fast forward to about 3 months ago, I was promoted to the Regional Core Food and Beverage Specialist for Peak, which is our division, which is great. So that gets me out of the east, which is all of the coastline. I did retain 3 communities out of that, but now I just have 16 communities total. 4 of them are outside of Florida. Everyone else is a driving distance. I have weekly calls with each of those food and beverage directors within the division. If you see the sign on my door that says in a meeting in progress, and I know that's terrible because I feel like I'm always in a meeting now, I am on the phone most of the time with them, a lot of the times. I do monthly and weekly calls with the regional team, and I'm loosely involved in the financial statements review and support both in person and remote for all communities within our division. As Chef of the Year this year, I was the MC. And I'm part of the planning committee for 2026, which I've just been voluntold. That's going to be my new role as well. Food and beverage conference that we just attended. I was not only lucky enough to have Chef Jamie there, winning the Chef of the Year. I'm sorry, I can just keep saying it all day long. Winning the Chef of the Year and proving to everyone that Freedom Plaza is the very best community that we have all throughout LCS. But Pamela also joined this year, and it was really fun to be there with Pam, but I thought she'd hang out with me more, but she didn't, because she was just networking with everybody. I'm like, Pam, I have a seat with you at my table. And she goes, no, I'm good, I'm gonna sit over here. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, there's my girl. But yeah, it was a really great time that we had 2 weeks ago. And then now I've just accepted a seat on the LCS Wellness Coaching Committee. And what the wellness is nutrition and wellness. That's what our conference really spotlit was seniors in nutrition and making our menus more nutritionally friendly and having healthier options and healthy options on the menu. We already do a pretty good job with that based on what feedback we're getting from some other communities on their menus. But this is just gonna help us as a community grow. I'm making the quick assumption that I'll be partnering with Lisa and the healthcare committee on this as well. I'm not sure 100% how that's gonna work yet, but whatever I can do to enhance and elevate the dining program to needs that you all would like to see is what I try to do. Because this is my #1 community. While I have all of these other communities, it's like I'm Dorothy saying there's no place like home. Because when I walk through the doors at Freedom Plaza, everything just makes sense here, while I have to go to other communities and make sense of their chaos. So it's always nice to come home. We're gonna talk a little bit, that's me, in a nutshell. Pamela, you're gonna be next to talk about your role, or do you want me to talk? It's up to you. Okay. Jamie, I can always talk if you want.
You're good? The clap was because it's nice to come home.
It is nice to come home.
So as the assistant food and beverage director, I do payroll captain. Every Sunday I jump into my UKG and see like 200 alerts, and I'm like, oh boy. And then I need to like clear all the deck and make sure everybody gets paid. And they know that if they don't get paid, I'm the reason why they didn't. So I'm really, really popular on Sunday nights every 2 weeks. We do update Touchstone and Uniguest. This is a new program that Teresa and I took about like a 4-hour class in, and how to upload, how to work Canva, how to make menus, and how to put them up on the cloud. So then that's something that you're able to look at and see it visualized and have that directly into each one of the computer or on your cell phone. And that's a fairly new program that we just rolled out in June. I am a full count command center, and I will be holding classes again on how to get into your full count and use your full count. I know we had one around like 3 to 6 months ago, but I will be bringing like Nasha and all the supervisors, because they're younger and they know how to use all these full counts and new programs. But if you wanted, all of us are equipped to help you how to get into your full count. You will receive an email link. Hillary, the supervisors, myself, and Nicole all have access to reset your passwords in full count and how to get you in there and how to get reservations in, etc., etc. Front of the house scheduling, that's really, I took over for about like 3 to 6 months until Nicole was onboarded, and she is now doing all of the scheduling for the servers, which is fun, because they come in like, oh, I forgot. And then here goes Nicole, trying not to pull her hair out, making the schedule for over 40 servers that sometimes be the love of their lives and they need the weekend off. So that's the funnest thing. I also just recently took over the dining news. It helps. I usually go to every department and I'm like, hey, what else do we need to say? And this is really like I go in with Nicole or the grill or chef, and I say, hey, is there something that we need to remind our residents? And that's all, like, hey Pam, did you put the seafood extravaganza that is coming? Is Labor Day coming? So really, it is really a snapshot of what we're doing in dining, because residents want to know the things that are coming up. So it's important to you, and it is important to me. I will let you know, one of the residents came up to me and he said, hey Pam, what did you mean by that? And I'm like, oh, I guess my message didn't get across as clearly as I would have wanted to. So if there's something that I'm not putting in there correctly, just come up to me and be like, hey Pam, maybe you can put it in some other way. So the point of the weekly news is to get dining communication access into the residents and to ensure that you know what we have coming up. We do scheduling for residents on the private dining rooms. Hillary's equipped to know that. We all have access to that. There is a binder that we have to keep everybody scheduled in correctly. Parties, floor meetings, any holiday reservations, or any atrium refreshments. For all of those types of events and any of the catering events, we use BEOs, or banquet event orders. So those are orders that go into the other dining departments, or like right here, like how's everything set up, etc. Rosa needs to know, the kitchen needs to know, Nicole needs to know so she can schedule servers. So it really is a huge amount of communication within the team. We hold weekly catering meetings so that we're all on the same page. So there are so many people involved just to get a meeting for the residents. I just want you to know that it is a lot of stuff behind it. I am part of the daily service. Every morning we get like alerts, or there's so many little things that come up. I just had a meeting this morning with a resident. So I send a follow-up communication. Hey, are we ensuring that we're paying attention at 6 o'clock? Because the resident had a couple of comments. So those are the follow-ups, and whenever you have a comment, question, or concern that comes up, we want to know about it. Because if we know about it, then we can do something about it, and that's what's important. I oversee all of the grill and all of the complete financials and operations. We hold shift meetings for all the team members, so then they also know what's coming up. And Chef calls me the little HR person because I have a really good relationship with people in HR in June, and I sit down and I tend to be the one who can calmly speak to any employee or anything that is coming with the best of intentions. Even with an employee, we want them to be set up for success, and that's why we're here. So we can provide good service to the residents, and we can also provide a good working environment for our employees.
And as a request from Chef, I'm going to run through his roles, but while you're going to see Angie and Chef giving out tickets, we totally forgot to give out tickets for the mini raffles that we have at the end of this, if you can stay till the end. Executive Chef. So what is Chef Jamie's role in the kitchen? He has menu development for the buffet, premier dining, and sports bar. Kitchen design. Overall kitchen design, moving equipment around. If we need to replace equipment, he is the one that has his eyes on the ground in the kitchen and lets us know what he needs. Is he back there cooking each and every one of your meals every night? No. He's leading the brigade to do so. When we have a shortage or a deficit on the line, he jumps in and he fixes the situation, and then he walks off to enable his line to continue to fix it. Health department standardization, making sure that we are within health code. Our health department visits, which we get once every 6 months, is very, very good. Weekly My Field Audits is a program that we download into our phone, and it is a quick 25 questionnaire that talks about things that we need for the kitchen. He does this every single week with his team to make sure that we are meeting within our guidelines and time and temperature control. Food budget and labor budget. He needs to make sure he's spending within the budget that I give him, even though sometimes he doesn't like it. And he wants to spend a couple grand on caviar, but you know, the anniversary's worth it. Labor budget, understanding where people are and when they need to be there, where our team members are in the kitchen, our busier nights. How do we make that happen with scheduling? He's responsible for all kitchen utility new hires and scheduling for IL. He also manages his own chef chats, which we've pared down to once a month, but he does have a PowerPoint. We are teaching him through all of those computer things, because he will tell you that he is not the smartest when it comes to computers, but he does an amazing job. So Pam and I support him with that, and he does all the magic when he gets up here to talk to you. Produce market, we're gonna be doing that soon. We talked about it last month. Chef Jamie is finalizing everything that should be coming around in September, which we are gonna have our local vendors come out. You'll be able to use your declining balance to do that, and we're gonna do 1 to 2 produce markets a month for you to get fresh produce and shop down there with your declining dollars, or you can even charge it to your ancillary if you'd like to. Buffet special dinner, seafood extravaganza, Valentine's dinner, marketing dinners and events. Any events that we have, and if you know, Pam goes somewhere to eat, she's like, oh, I like this, can we do something like this for the residents? Because Chef Jamie takes that information and creates a menu over it. Or if a resident said, hey, I just got back from a cruise, here's a menu that I liked from the cruise, can you do that here? Chef Jamie takes that, reworks it, and figures out how to implement it here at Freedom Plaza. He oversees catering back of the house operations and works closely with Rosa to ensure catering needs are met. Chef Jamie and Rosa work very, very well together. There is a second set of operations that happens outside of what you're eating every single day, which is catering. We are one of the only campuses, we are the only campus in our division that has a full banquet hall and a pro shop and a golf course. So with that comes additional responsibilities that other teams do not have. So while Chef's main duty is down here, his secondary is making sure that everything at the Plaza Club is running. And Rosa, as you know, who has been holding that down for 30 years, is a huge contributor to that as well. How do we communicate with you? We communicate through Angie's Wednesday memo. Angie will email us on Monday and say, do you have anything for the memo? Most of the time, Food and Beverage does. We always have something to communicate. There are weeks where we miss, like we do not put something in if we don't feel that it's pertinent or it needs to be said. Same thing with the dining news. That's what Pamela is doing now. Resident town hall meetings. Angie is always asking, for us to give updates. We try to give you a monthly update in there. Chef's chat and food forums. Rave messages, which you got today, we still call it, what were we calling it? Swift Reach, but it's really called Rave now, but I think some of you got that message to come here today. Also on the Freedom Plaza Network channel, I did see that channel changed, and I apologize I didn't make that notation in here. And then we have an open door policy. We want to hear from you. Whatever the best way that you communicate, we want to hear from you. If it's in the middle of dinner service and you want to have a full-fledged conversation while you're eating your pasta, I'll do that. I have no problem with that. Most residents want to do that outside of dinner. Please contact us. And a lot of you do have that working relationship with Pamela, Chef Jamie, and myself. We're always available to discuss. I just want to make sure. Extraordinary impressions. If you went to all the departmental meetings, I'm sure you saw this on some of their slides as well. It is what we live by. Our hospitality vision statement is we passionately and proudly differentiate ourselves. We meet and exceed customers' expectations. We consistently demonstrate our service culture and recognize all who embody it, which is super important. Listen, we're gonna make mistakes. Food and Beverage is gonna make mistakes more than any other department here because you see us every single day. The odds of us getting something wrong for you versus housekeeping or maintenance is very, very high for us, because you're here with us every single day. And look around at the residents sitting next to you. They all eat differently. What you like is not what your neighbor likes. Where you lived is not where your neighbor lived. So we have a large department that we need, and a large bank of residents that we need to make happy every single night, and we need to do the best that we can to make sure that we put out a meal that is going to be sufficient for everyone. But within our hospitality promises, one of the ones that I really try to focus on is number 6. We make you feel important. You are important. You're the reason why we're all here. Without any of you, we could not do our job. So it is my goal every time when I see you or we're having a conversation that you know you're the most important person that I'm talking to right at that moment. And what you say matters. If you want to see beets on the menu, and I literally just had this conversation with someone from lunch who I assured that we were going to have nice beets on, and we did. And chef told me that they weren't fresh roasted beets, they weren't something that came in, and he tried a different way of doing it. We had a conversation and said, can we slice them next time? And he said, absolutely we can. So he's going to make that change because the specific resident that I spoke to, I made a promise to, and I take that seriously. And sometimes we are going to drop the ball, but you have to give us the opportunity to fix it because food, remember, is subjective. One of the things about food and beverage is that we're never going to make everyone happy. And one of the things about going into this resident satisfaction survey is that for the last 18 years that I've been here, and even prior to that, food and beverage has scored traditionally low. And it's not just here at Freedom Plaza. It's in the whole division. Every single community that I support is like, what are you doing to try to get your resident satisfaction scores up? And I'm like, I'm just trying to put out a good program. It's all about the dinners that we have every single night. It's not about the anniversary party. Anniversary party comes once a year. Yeah, we're gonna blow that out of the water. It's about what you had to eat on Monday night. It's about what you had to eat on Tuesday night, right? We do a lot of special events here. These are pictures from our events and the people that are killing it, making it happen. We have chef's tables for those that like to have that one-on-one experience with Chef Jamie. Yeah, it's a small group of residents. That's not for you, that's fine, because we have other things that are gonna be for you. Monthly mix and mingles. We did a seafood extravaganza. We're coming up on a Low Country Boil, which have both, I mean, the Low Country Boil sold out, which is telling us that we do like these events. We like ways to burn down our declining balances and get these nicer meals. Valentine's Day dinner, Seder and Hanukkah, Mardi Gras, holiday meal services. We make them special. Anniversary parties, birthday parties, resident anniversaries, family dinners, you name it, we're gonna do it. And the picture up in the far right, that is a picture of Chef Jamie having that one-on-one interaction with our chef's dinner. If you haven't, I suggest that you try that once or twice. If you like going out to Tampa and you want to, spend a lot of money on a meal down in Tampa, by all means, go ahead and do it. But your bang for your buck is going to be here, like $100 per resident for a full wine tasting and a 7 to 8 course meal that has been curated by our executive top of the year or chef of the year chef. And it's super fun, but if that's not for you, that's fine, because you can come to the Valentine's Day dinner, which is price pointed at different areas, so then you can all partake in it. That ice carving was done for us for our 30th anniversary. I thought that was the best anniversary that we had. And then here's our anniversary that we just had in the top corner. Look at Hillary, Nasha, and Nicole all dressed up for that. They wanted to be part of it. Our team wants to be part of it. We're part of the fabric of Freedom Plaza just like you are. We see you every day. We wanted to come and dress up to show you that we care to be here as well. And in the center of all of these special events, Rosa Ozuna and Chef Jamie. Here's some more pictures. I'm gonna tell the story through pictures, right? We see you every day. We see you on your good days. We see you on your not so good days. We see you when you're really excited about your dinner. We see you when you're like, I hate what I ate tonight. But we see you, and we show up every day just like you show up. And while we're doing it, we try to have as much fun as possible. I love this picture of Mr. Scarpatello here at the seafood extravaganza. He's a northerner. Is he in here today? Mr. Scarpatello, no? He is from New England area, and he was so happy that he can eat as many crab legs as he wanted and enjoy his time. And then look at our team there up in the corner, just playing around. Dominic, who's our staple in the buffet. And then we have some other events here, so important, our Passover dinner, which is, Seder is so important, and I think it's such a beautiful event, and this year they had this wonderful picture that they took of the plate, and I just love that. Miss Betty D enjoying the Derby, having a drink. What's not better than being retired and just being able to walk back up to your apartment? Miss Reitzel at our Valentine's Day Surf and Turf dinner. Because of you, we have all of these wonderful students. I've been here for 18 years, I have 18 pictures like this. I think it's the coolest thing. And we usually have no less than 10 that are getting it, and this year we had a record high. It's because of all of you that we are giving these young adults the opportunity to have a really, like, to have a better life. Some of them have family members that have never went to school. You take them under your wing to help train them and guide them. And it's so appreciative, and we feel very, very strongly about it, and that's why we're a strong community, one of the reasons why. We have Bree down here with Baking with Bree. You know that Bree does a lot of the stuff on her own time? She's not here clocking in and writing her paper. I mean, she should be. I probably shouldn't say that too loud if HR's listening. But Bree will go home and do a bunch of research, and then she will practice at home to make sure that she gets it right. And she was super nervous. And those of you that followed it and saw her on the first one, and she, was kind of nervous, and Shep and I were up there. And then she becomes more and more comfortable. And not only do we serve residents, but we serve associates. So this picture down here is our HR director, Arlene, is here. I'm there, Martha. We are serving our associates for a holiday dinner. So food and beverage not only takes care of our residents, but also our associates. We take care of each other, right? So we have a very large department that does a little bit of everything. This is one of my favorite pictures. This is Rose's 30th anniversary. So I can't do my job, and I feel really bad that Chef Jamie's like not in this picture, and I was trying to figure out a way to put him in there. But I can't. Oh, you took the picture? Sorry. Well, Chef Jamie is responsible for this picture, so I thank you. These ladies here make my job so much easier. Their heart, their dedication. Every one of these ladies have been here during a hurricane, have set aside their own children, their families, to come in here to serve residents. This is the true story. 2 years ago when we had, I don't know which hurricane it was Pam's first year here, so it might have been 3 years ago. Our previous chef was here, and we were on campus for the duration of the hurricane, and Pam came in the day before it was supposed to hit. It was supposed to hit at like 6 o'clock, and I get City, because when we're in hurricane command control, City's texting everybody, it looks like the winds are picking up, it's starting to come now, blah, blah, blah. We're expediting lunch out, and I'm like, Pam, you have to drive home. No, I'm fine, I'm gonna get GPT out before I go. But Pam, you need to go now. Pam, they're shutting down the roads, you need to go. Okay, I'm gonna go, are you sure? We're kicking her out the door, and then
Pam drove in the storm.
Pam drove in the storm. And
my car was like kidding, like my car was moving.
Like she was flying.
I was
literally.
flying, I felt like Dorothy. And my husband was calling me, like, Pamela, what are you doing? And this year I said, just whatever, don't let me drive on the storm, that's it.
Last year we learned, and we're like, Pam, you need to go. She goes, I'm out. Jennifer, Roslyn, Rosa, Nicole, Marissa, all of these individuals have been such a crucial part during storms, during good times and during bad times here. So I can't do it without the support of my team. This picture is one of my favorite pictures. One thing that's different about food and beverage is that we're here 365. We're here on the holidays. We're here at the most inopportune times for anybody to work, where everybody's trying to get off for a couple weeks. That's when our season kicks off. We know what we signed up for. What we signed up for, what I signed up for, what Chef signed up for, Pam, our management team. But these young adults, they signed up for this as a job, right? And they knew coming on that they'd have to work some holidays, but they leave their families, and their parents trust us. They come in, and then Pam buys some bunny ears. I don't know if you can see them, even Chef is sporting bunny ears right there. This is a pre-shift meeting on Easter. This is what it looks like. This is your team that is serving you on the holidays. This is Easter this past year. What I love about this picture is behind me, where I'm taking this picture, is all the food that Pamela went out and Nicole made sure that we had a nice spread for them to eat. They had pizzas, they had wings and everything, so then they can come out and serve you really well and serve your family members. And they were excited, genuinely excited to be there. So when we think about dining and you're filling out your resident satisfaction survey, did we mess up your steak last week? Probably. If you got a steak 7 days, we probably maybe undercooked it or overcooked it one of those days. Was the veal scallopini not as you cooked it at home? Probably. It's a little bit different due to the fact that we do have to maneuver our recipes around for the masses, not just one individual person. But overall, is your experience in dining better than the experience 2 years ago? Because 2 years ago, you didn't like our program. You didn't like it. The food was flat. We had one of the lowest scores in all of the division. So 2 years later, we have a new program. We've added we have 53 different entrees now between all of the concepts that we have going on versus the 23 that we had before, and most of those were in the grill. And we've made some significant changes based on your suggestions. The sports bar, that was you. That wasn't us. I was going a totally different route, but you wanna know how we knew that? It's because we did a survey, because we asked you questions. That's what we try to do in this community. We try to involve you, and you participate, and you show up for us. So that's why we wanna show up for you. This is the core of my team. I'll get emotional when I talk about this, but at Freedom Plaza, food and beverage is more than just meals, it's moments. Every plate that we serve is an opportunity to nourish the body and spark a memory and create a connection. As a food and beverage team, we have the privilege of turning everyday dining into experiences that bring comfort, joy, dignity to those we serve. That's why we show up with passion every single day in our department. We do care about you, as I know you care about us, because you love those servers in the dining room, and you tell us that every day. You participate in everything. You are one of the best participating communities that I have in all of the division for all of the food and beverage programs. There are other communities that residents will not fill out of my customer voice. Where's Anita? Anita, you're filling out. Anita is our chair for our food and beverage committee. I want to thank you, Anita, because Anita takes those customer surveys that you write down and she puts them into the program so we can have analytics of what we are doing well, what we can do better, and how we can reward our servers. And that is done because of the partnership with residents here at Freedom Plaza. We are very blessed to work here, and we appreciate it. And we know that we're not going to hit the mark all the time, right? We know that we're going to have some nights that are not the best, but I can promise you that the heart that we have in this community is more so than any other community in this division. I have one more thing to show you. Because of Rock, which it is amazing, right? We were so lucky to have Rock on our campus. I had Mr. Brady come down to the kitchen in the middle of service, and it was around 5 o'clock, and he said, come into the kitchen, I want you to see what they do in the kitchen. And he said, this is amazing, this is organized chaos. How is this happening? And I'm like, well, it's happening because this is happening, this is what we do. He goes, residents don't see that. They don't understand what you're doing in the kitchen. The grill's great, but the kitchen does a really good job. I would really like you to spotlight that. I'm like, you wanna pay for that? And he said, yes, I do. So thank you to Rock, who helped us with this video, and thank you for us not being able to watch this video, because that was a perfect segue, I could tell you. Not very good at Chef of the Year, but I was killing it today until that happened. Welcome to Freedom Plaza, Sun City Center, where exceptional living meets exceptional dining. My name is Teresa Lehman. I'm the Food and Beverage Director.
Hi, I'm Jose, and I'm your youth cook.
Hi, I'm Hillary, and I'm your hostess.
Hi, I'm Jake. I'm your sous chef. Hi, I'm Jimmy Smoke, and I'm the executive chef.
Hi, we're your grill team.
Hi, I'm Nani, and I'm your server. Hi, I'm Nicole, and I'm your dining room manager.
Hi, I'm Johnny, and I'm the lead cook.
With 6 unique dining rooms and 2 private dining rooms. Across our campus each month, we serve over 250 guest meals, 750 associate meals, 16,000 independent meals, and 16,000 assisted living, memory care, and healthcare meals combined, for a total of 33,000 meals each month. We have 4 concepts here at Freedom Plaza. The American Grill, which is our fast casual concept with our general store. Sports Bar is our version of Cheers for our residents. Again, fast casual with the full bar. Maui Buffet, we offer international cuisine as well as home-style favorites for a relaxed dining experience. And then our Premier Dining, which is an elevated dining experience for all. We also have takeout options from our sports bar, our grill, and our Maui Buffet. Between all of our concepts, we have over 55 entree options every single day. When somebody moves into Freedom Plaza, I always say, welcome to the family. And they chuckle, and I'm like, well, you are my family because I've been here for 18 years. And it's so important to me that this is a partnership between residents and associates. We have a passion for doing what we do. It's so important, and making those personal connections. And I don't know what to say to get that across. I'm sorry I get emotional with it. But I've been here for a long time, and you meet a lot of people in this industry, and this is something that I feel so strongly about. Thank you everybody for coming to our food and beverage department overview. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, it's a partnership, we're family. If you're dating marketing, when you're coming in, you're married to us, right? Somebody said that last week in one of our meetings and I love it. Is that you loosely get to know marketing, and then once you sign at that dotted line, you are now ours and we're married. We have a relationship that we're gonna love each other some days, and some days we're gonna wonder like, why the hell are we here? I get it, I do, as I'm approaching 20 years in my marriage, so I do, and today was a struggle on the first day of school. But I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. My team is an amazing team. I think truly we are all very lucky. We are lucky because of all of you. And I'd like to think that maybe in the back of your mind you think that you're lucky too, because you have a dedicated staff that serves you every day. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy days. Thank you for supporting us, and we'll see you at dinner.